And I know that that's still the debating point this morning, the gnashing of teeth about Aaron Sanchez going to the bullpen. But they've been saying that, really almost all season long, that they're going to manage his innings and they're going to, that he's going to the bullpen. And I know people don't like it, and it's not a competitive decision. It's a medical decision, a science decision, the best, using the best information and that they can come up with. So, yeah, you're going to go out there and get a starter. And I didn't think it was going to be Francisco Liriano, but you can kind of see the wheels turning here and kind of understand where that move came from. What Pittsburgh was thinking, what the Jays were thinking. I think that, in a way, George, the most interesting part about that deal from a Blue Jay perspective is that they took on a lot of money, which maybe tells you something's changing in terms of payroll going into 2017.
Stephen, George and I kind of discussed this in the first hour. Kind of wanted to get your take on it as well. How does the team monitor Aaron Sanchez now that he will eventually be in the bullpen? Because we don't know stress on the arm. We don't know, what that limit is, and it's a different stress as well. Because as you know, he'll stand up, he'll stretch, he'll throw. He may get in the game, he may not. Does he go the next day? Does he wait for 2 days? There's a lot of question marks monitoring his arm because it's still under protection.
Well, I guess you kind of do what you try and do what they've been trying to do all along, which is, look for signs of fatigue, measure things like the spin rate on his breaking ball, velocity, obviously. And, and he had a little velocity drop in that last start. People kind of forgotten that, I guess. But, and he came back at the end of the game. But there was an inning there where he did have a kind of a slightly alarming velocity drop down to the low 90s with his fastball. But I think they look at all the same things. I would think, though, that John Gibbons and Pete Walker, and Dane Johnson, the bullpen coach, will be under pretty strict orders that if you're going to get him, if Sanchez is going to get hot, he's coming into a game. Again, I don't think they're going to want to waste pitches and they're going to want to waste warming him up. Now, you try to do that with all your relievers. You don't want to get guys hot and then sit them down again. Pitchers hate that, and there is a wear and tear factor. But I think they'll kind of do what they've been doing all along, which is that after every time he pitches, they will try and assess that performance based on what Sanchez tells them and what the pitching coaches see. And again, especially what the kind of science and medicine people see. Look, this is not exact. And if it was, everybody would have figured it out and they would be able to protect young pitching arms and we wouldn't have so many Tommy Johns. But they're doing the best they can to protect the asset that is Aaron Sanchez, an incredibly valuable asset for this franchise, and to win in 2016. It's a tricky one, and all the people saying don't worry about it, send him out there, old school. Well, I don't think you can operate that way. I think that's a reckless way to operate in an era where, in theory, you have more data and more understanding of what the stresses on a young pitcher's arm are.